And I thought I would teach a little bit about what happens when energy medicine doesn't seem to be working. And so I've participated in quite a few not so spontaneous remissions with cancer. And I've also participated with a lot of people dying with cancer. And I've learned through my experience that there's different patterns to that. And it's getting so I can almost tell who's going to make it and who's not going to make it, or if this is going to be a person who's very chronic. Doesn't mean they can't change, but from where I'm looking, that's what it looks like to me. And of course, I hope I'm always wrong if it doesn't look like they're going to have an instant cure, but because I have participated in very, very quick cures. But I'm starting to understand what's involved with that. And in my humble opinion, and it really is humble because nothing like cancer to make you humble, right? Is that when we ask for anything, a spiritual version of it is given to us. Always 100%. And this is an analogy, a metaphor. I don't even know if it's true or not. But when I think this way, I feel like it empowers me. And hopefully it might empower you, which is why I'm sharing it. It doesn't really matter if it's true or not. What matters is if this is a useful perspective for pondering the unknown. All right? So if it's unknown, we don't know if it's true or not, right? But if we pretend that it might be true, we act differently than if we pretend that it's probably not true. And this is sort of, I guess, like faith. And the problem with faith is you can't pretend so hard that your blinders are on. But you need to participate in the process and make contact with the possibility of whatever you're asking for could exist. And if you could align with it, you could pull it into the 3 dimensions. Like if it exists in the non-dual, extra dimensional superconscious part of ourselves, if we could pull it in so that it's actually manifesting so that everybody else can see it too. How do you get something from an idea into physical reality? Well, first you have to entertain the idea that it's a possibility. And I don't know that that's important, but then you have to not be attached to it. It's like this or something better, or I think that's probably right. That feels like it's right. And what you choose to focus on is the things that have fit up until now. You get the same feeling that you get when other things that were going to happen. So my cancer cures, the people that were cured, they always said I had this deep knowing inside me that I would be cured. They kind of knew it ahead of time. And they said they didn't believe in it, they knew it. And they didn't pretend to know it. They knew it from the place that they knew other things. And if asked, like, do you think the people that don't do it don't believe in enough? Like, can you force knowing? And they would always say, no, you can't force knowing. You can only know if you know something. But if you're pretending to know something, you're not really knowing it. And so when I work with people one-on-one, I try to get to that authentic place where you know what you know and you know what you don't know. And it's the same way you know anything. There can be a logic to it, but there's also a click, yeah, that's right. And it's not that you just have blinders on and you're charging through, and that's always the problem. And people who truly believe that they're going to get better often don't. So the knowing I'm talking about has nothing to do with belief. Because it's really almost annoying to me when I meet a true believer that they're going to get better. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, that's, at least, I mean, you might, but that's not helping at all. That's really not helping at all for you to be truly, truly, truly believing, like the white knuckle truly believing. There's a deeper, more authentic, honest place of our relationship to the future. So how do you get there? I think the word honest is a good word. Like, what do I honestly think? And it's a soul-searching time. And when I work with my clients, my one-on-one clients, we try to reach that authentic place where we don't know. We really, most of my clients don't know, but there are certain things that they do know. And if they can start teasing those out, you know, like, I know that I'm sitting here, I know I'm talking to you, that there's a picture of me on Facebook, you know, things like that. You can kind of like describe what you know. And you can describe a feeling, like, I know from that place, like I knew my, like pretend like you, like, this is like, sort of winging it here. I'm thinking, like, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was pretty sure she was going to be a boy. And it turned out that I was right and I was wrong. I was wrong that she was a boy, but I was right that she had drive and kind of like that testosterone push in her. So I was picking up something that I interpreted as boy. So some part of me knew, and then I labeled it as oh, it's probably a girl. So knowing that we can be wrong, how do we navigate through this? How do we have faith in a process? And what happens when it doesn't work? Does that shatter it? Like, oh, it didn't work. Like, oh, I guess I was wrong. It's kind of like that example with my daughter. Like, okay, I really felt that she was a boy, and she's definitely a girl. So then I thought, okay, what was it about that impression that made me think that she was a girl? I mean, a boy. And so I learned I got feedback from the evidence that was presented later. And my sense is that every one of us is going to go through this, that all the things that we believe in that turn out to not be true, which is most of existence, because we all have perceptual barriers to what can, you know, with what is possible. Seems like perception is sort of like love and money. You can always perceive a deeper truth about something. And whatever level of truth or whatever our perspective is limited by definition. We have perceptual boxes that we live in. And so when it doesn't work, I would question the perceptual box, not your sense of like, oh, I thought I was going to live, and here I am dying. Or I thought I was going to get better by March, and here it is April, and I'm not better yet. And so then you say, okay, what was that impression that I had? And okay, I interpreted it as this way. What can I be aware of? That if I was aware of it, I could learn from this, so that I can broaden my perceptual box, so that I can navigate in the world more powerfully. So rather than saying I'm wrong, giving up hope, I personally like to think that when I ask, it's given 100% of the time. It's just given in a form that I usually don't recognize, because I have to widen my perceptual box. I have to be aware of something. I have to transform my consciousness in some way so that I can let something in that didn't exist in my perception before. It doesn't usually happen without my own inner transformation. And that's what I work on with my private clients a lot now, is that inner transformation that allows them to widen the perceptual box, so that things like energy healing are not a trick, and we're definitely still detached from it, but we're authentically connected to it at the same time. We're in two worlds at the same time. We're very curious and hopeful that it will work, and we're also kind of skeptical and able to see, well, this might not be what it is. Let me milk it for awareness, and see if there's tweaks, if there's impression and things that I need to know. All right, hopefully that's not depressing to people. Good morning. Maybe healing can instill the essence of such a knowing. I like that. Yeah, no, I like that. The essence of such a knowing, because essence is a great word. I'm actually thinking, I'm going to get to the healing, but another thing I was thinking of doing is that there's There's a book out now that talks about the 35 essential qualities of God. I thought, oh, I want to put 35 things on my rapid image cycling list that have to do with essences of God, you know, forms that takes. So I might be doing that, and you can let me know if you're interested in that. I might do a little free class that then I record, and then you get to pay for it if you look at it later. Something like that. So anyway, let's do the healing, all right?